Hello everyone, welcome again to this another lecture series of this course or this subject, the Introduction to Criminology. And this is now the part two of the discussion. Okay, so let's start with the modern explanations of, these are all actually the modern explanations of crimes and criminal behavior. So we're going to tackle the different theories, no? We have, for example, the social structure theories, and under that one, merong mga sub theories as well, no? And then we are going to discuss it now. Okay, so let's start with the social structure theories. Okay, ano ba itong social structure theories? Okay, it explain crime by looking kung paano yung society and then the communities are being organized. Okay, so the social structure theories, they focus not only the physical features, no, ng mga neighborhoods, but also on social conditions. So ano-ano ba yung mga social conditions? So kagaya na lang halimbawa ng poverty, unemployment, and another is overcrowded housing. No, yung mga factors na yun, no, it shapes people's behaviors and attitudes. No, yun yung govern ng social structure theories, no, which can lead to criminal activity. Okay, so in other words, itong social structures theories, okay, sees crimes as a result of one social environment, no, not just individual choice, no, like the other theories. Okay, so let's start with the social disorganization theory. So under sa social structure theories. So ano ba itong social disorganization theory? Okay, this is by Clifford, Shaw, and Henry D. Mackay. No? Sila yung personalities behind this theory. Okay, so the social disorganization theory is the concept of this theory is crime is more widespread. Okay, mas widespread daw yung crime. Wait lang, paano ba i-highlight to? For a moment ha. Okay, okay. Okay na. So, okay, crime is more widespread in metropolitan settings, no? Because residents have impersonal interactions with one another. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng metropolitan settings? Yung mga malalaking urban area, no? Kagaya ng mga, let's say for example, mga center na mga city, no? Yung, or mga malalaking populations, nung may malalaking populations. Okay, so crime is more widespread in metropolitan settings daw because residents have impersonal interactions with one another. Okay, so this theory, it focuses on the urban conditions na pwedeng maka-affect sa crime rates. No, it focuses on the development of high crime areas in which there is disintegration. O pag sinabing disintegration, so merong breakdown, no, something is nag-breakdown, no, nag-breakdown ang ano, yung conventional values. Okay, ano bang ibig sabihin ng conventional values? Rather yung mga na-establish na mga norms sa society, the standards of the society, the acceptable one. Ano bang acceptable one, no? That is conventional values. Ang nangyayari sa conventional values is na-disintegrate, no, na-disintegrate. Okay, kita nyo, kunyari dito, no, there are a large number of buildings, maraming tao, sobrang congested yung lugar, no, that is caused by another one is rapid industrialization and then increased migration, no, syempre sobrang daming tao, maraming nagma-migrate sa lugar, sa like mga urban areas, no, like mga bigger cities, kasi yung iba gusto ng mga new opportunities, gusto nilang magtrabaho doon kasi tingin nila or tingin natin, no, na pag doon sa malaking syudad, malaking sasahurin, no, malaking kikitain. Kasi maraming racket na pwedeng gawin, no. Okay, and urbanization. Okay, so ano ba again yung social disorganization theory? It assumes, no, it assumes that crime rates are constant doon sa mga areas na merong mga certain environmental condition, no? Okay, such as, yun na yung sinasabi ko a while ago, high unemployment. Okay? population fluctuation, or material decay. So itong mga condition na to, it prevents social organization and cohesion in the neighborhood, and thus informal social control delinquency. Okay? So once crime is widespread na siya, once the crime is widespread, so the criminal norms, no, the values that compete with normative values are culturally transmitted, no, transmitted and passed on to yung mga baguhan, no, mga bagong residente ng mga lugar na yan, no. So as a result, ang nangyayari yung crime rates in that certain areas constant na din, no, regardless of the specific population, no. So therefore, people are influenced in their actions by certain environment. Okay, again, yung social disorganization theory, ha, wag niyong kalimutan, it explain why some neighborhoods, bakit mas higher yung crime rates kaysa sa others, no? Not because the people themselves, but ano ba talaga yung rason, the factor, ano ba talaga, but because of the social environment they live in, no? So crime and deviance, pag sinabi nating deviance, yun yung mga unacceptable values, no? Okay, those are more likely to occur in communities with weak social ties and poor social control, no? So from the word, this organization, eh, ano bang madidiscern natin from the word disorganization? It means, no, yung word pa lang na yan, madali nyo nang tatandaan kasi meaning na disrupt, no, or wala sa order, no? Not in order, or wala sa order, walang control, no, something is being destroyed, something is being disorganized. Okay, so this is the concept of the social disorganization theory. According to this theory, again, crime is more widespread in saang area? Metropolitan settings. Okay, kasi the more you interact with those different residents, no, anong mangyayari? Possible, okay, the more high crime rates, no, in this neighborhood. Okay, so next under the social structure theory is, okay, the strain theory. Okay, dito na tayo sa strain theory. Okay, ano ba itong strain theory? Si Robert Merton din naman, okay, he is the one who is behind this theory. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng strain theory? Crime, basta sinasabi crime is a result of a conflict between, merong conflict. Ang crime daw is the result. Ito na yung result ng conflict. Something is in conflict between the goals, okay, people have and the legal methods they have to achieve them. So meaning to say, okay, crime happens when people they want to reach certain goals, mayroon silang gustong abutin kung whatever goals it is, pero they don't have legal ways kung paano i-achieve yung mga goals na yun. Okay? So from the word strain, okay, this one, from the word strain, okay, malalaman na natin na these are specifically referring to the pressure o yung mga stress baka mo, no, na na-experience natin, no, ng individuals when they are unable to achieve culturally those valued goals through legitimate means. Okay, yan na din yung deviance, no? Papasok na si deviance or the unacceptable values. No? The deviance will occur na when a society does not give all its members equal ability to achieve the socially acceptable goals. Okay? So, the strain theory, oh, wow, ito nakita nyo? Okay, why must life be so hard? Bakit ba ang hirap ng buhay? Ginawa ko ng lahat, bakit mahirap pa rin, no? Meron bang mas madali? Okay, so this strain theory, again, this explains that, okay, kapag tayo, no, or when people, gusto nating mag-success, gusto natin ng kayamanan, okay, but we lack fair chances. Okay? Anong pwedeng gawin, no? Wala fair chances like education. Okay? Hindi nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral or let's say, unfortunate. Okay? Hindi nabigyan ng chance na mag-aral or jobs, no? Walang trabaho. Okay? So, this train theory, it explain, no? People gusto nilang mag-success, gusto nilang ng kayamanan, pero wala naman, they lack fair chances. Katulad ng mga nasabi ko a while ago, education or jobs, no? And result, anong mafe-feel nila? In result to themselves, they feel pressure or frustration. So yung pressure na ito or yung frustration na to, this can lead them to different reactions, no? It can be somehow good yung result or reaction. Sometimes, ano bang i-expect mo? Siyempre, meron ding bad side, no? Some, they follow the rules, while the others, they break them, no? Even though, kahit na ang result nito is gumawa ng krimen, no? Para lang maabot yung mga goals nila. Isa yan sa rason, no? Kung bakit merong krimen, no? So, in short, this train theory, this is the tension, no? Ito yung tension that is caused by the black opportunities. Okay? That in result, it can push people to act, no, against the social norms. Okay? Wala namang problema, 'di ba? Kung iisipin natin, wala namang problema kung we follow the rules. Basta lahat ng mga kailangan natin sa buhay nakukuha naman, 'di ba? So, why not we follow? Pero, there are those people talaga na less fortunate or kumbaga, meron talagang ibang tao na ginawa na nila lahat, pero sadyang pinagkaitan talaga, no, ng tadhana. Okay, that is real talaga. Okay? So, strain theory again, it explains why some people turn to crime because of stress or pressure. Okay? Because of stress pressure. Kaya yan, nagpukpok ng pukpok kasi hirap ng buhay, no? Okay, when people face problems, no, like yung mga poverty, common naman yan yung poverty, social pressure, no, they may use crime, no? They may use crime to cope or to cope up, no, or to just a coping mechanism to survive, okay, or just to survive. Okay, that is the concept of strain theory. Okay, yung kay Robert K. Merton's na version ay meron din siyang anomy theory, no? Anomy theory. Kung natatandaan nyo, the anomy theory, that is the theory of normlessness, no? Kung i-connect natin yan sa crime, okay, to the American dream, no? When people want success, wala silang fair chances to achieve it. So sabi ni Merton, people respond to this strain in 5 ways. Merong 5 adaptations to strain. Ito na yung conformity, this one, no? Conformity, innovation, okay, ritualism, preterism, and rebellion. So, ano ibig sabihin ng conformity? Siyempre, conform, those who follow the rules. Innovation, okay, find new ways to succeed. Okay, they find new ways to succeed kahit na minsan illegal man o hindi, no? Okay, ritualism, those who give up on goals but still follow the rules. Yun yung sabi ni Merton. Okay, another is retreatism, no? Those people who withdraw from society. And then the last one is rebellion. Okay, those who reject and try to change the system. Okay, so this is the concept of strain theory. Okay, sobrang hirap ng buhay, ano mang gagawin ko? Okay, I have to find ways, no? Just for me to survive. Okay, I will do whatever it takes just for me to survive in this life, no? Parang ganun. Okay, and I believe, no? I believe in this theory. Okay, next. Okay, we have the cultural deviance theory. Okay, how do you pronounce this one? Deviance or deviance, no? So I pronounce it as deviance, no? Okay, what is cultural deviance theory? Parang sobrang, kung titingnan mo yung author nito, no? Parang Ano ba sa tingin nyo ng akit? Okay, cultural deviance theory. Okay, how are we going to define? What is the concept of this theory? Okay, when people in the lower class feel isolated owing to extreme deprivation or poverty, they tend to form their own subculture. Aba, nagpo-form sila ng kanilang sarili, no, na subculture with their own. Oh, meron silang set of laws rather, meron silang own set of laws and values. So, ano may ibig sabihin nito? Okay, when poor, no, or deprived people, no, they feel excluded. Tingin nila, we are excluded from the society. No? Yun yung tingin nila. So, they often create their own subculture. Okay, ano ba yung subculture? With different, okay? Different rules and values. Bakit different? Kasi iba yun kaysa sa norms ng society. Okay, kaysa doon sa standards ng society. Okay, so the cultural deviance theory, it says that crime happens, no, when those subculture values in poor or yung mga disadvantaged communities, no, clash with the mainstream society's rules, no. Okay, so this theory explained that yung krimen naman talaga, it isn't about bad people, no, it isn't about them. Okay, but a normal reaction. A normal reaction daw yung crime to difficult social conditions, no, where people follow the values of their community. O anong yun yung pina-follow nilang values kung ano yung komunidad where they belong, no, rather than the society. Kaya this is somehow subcultural values, no. Okay, so it says that crime is linked, no. Sabi ng theory na to, okay, crime is linked to the cultures and values in community. Okay? So people may commit crimes, again, not because they are naturally bad, but because they are being influenced. Okay, anong influensya ba 'to sinasabi natin? Okay, they are influenced with where they live. Saan sila nakatira, who they are around, and their social and economic conditions. Okay, yung crime is influenced by the culture, no? The values of the community where they live. No, yung mga poor, mga let's say, mga disadvantaged areas, ano-ano ba itong mga disadvantaged areas, no? Somehow, subcultures form with different norms na nagko-conflict siya sa society's rules. No, people growing up in these areas may see crime as normal. Okay? Normal lang yan dito. Normal lang yan dito sa amin, no? Or this is necessary for us to survive or to succeed. No, kagaya na ng halimbawa, no, dito sa Pilipinas, so yung mga slums area, no, mga squatter area. So I am not discriminating, ha. Okay, this is according to the cultural deviance theory, no. Yung mga slum area, mga squatter area, meron silang mga prescribing cultural norms, no? Meron silang mga sariling values. Meron talagang difference, no? Okay? That significantly, merong big difference, no, from the mainstream society. Kagaya na lang halimbawa, pag mga squatter area or mga slums, uso-uso dyan yung mga gang membership, no? Uso-uso dyan yung mga, normalize yan dyan kasi sa dami ng tao, congested yung lugar, okay? So, normalize dyan yung mga petty theft, okay? So, yung mga nandun sa lugar na yun, para sa kanila, normal na yan dito sa amin, no? Parang gano'n, no? They have their own subcultural or values, no, in their community. Yan yung sinasabi ko dito sa cultural deviance theory. Okay? So, okay, and then, do not forget, ha? Clifford Shaw and Henry Mackay. Actually, this theory began, no, with Clifford Shaw and Henry Mackay in the year 1930s, no, kung titingnan nyo, no, okay, wherein they studied Chicago's immigrant neighborhoods, and then they found that poverty, the social disorder, mga cultural differences, okay, it lead to the rise of delinquent subcultures. So later, ito na yung nakikita nyo dyan. Ito si Mr. Pogi, ito nakikita nyo dyan, no? Okay, that is Walter Miller. Okay, nag-add na siya ng idea niya, okay, about this cultural deviance theory. Okay, focal concerns, values common in lower class communities na nakakapag-encourage ng mga deviant behavior. Okay, so to sum it all up, this cultural deviance theory, it combines ideas from the social disorganization and the strain theories. Okay, showing that crime results from community condition and shared cultural values, not just individual behavior. Okay, so those are the shortest discussion of the cultural deviance theory. Okay, let's proceed to another theory. Okay, so we are now in the social process theory. Okay, ano naman yung theories under the social process theory? Okay, first we have differential association theory. Okay, by Edwin Sutherland. But before that, okay, ano ba yung social process theory? Okay, this kind of theory, it explain crime as a result of person socialization process, no? Somehow, merong something doon sa socialization process, no? How they learn and interact with others. Okay, so the social process theory, it suggests that crime develop through social interactions. Okay, hindi lang social interaction, pwede din ay mga experiences, no? Or mga exposure to certain influences in the environment. Okay, so in short, okay, the social process theory, in this theory, no, people becoming either law-abiding or criminal based on the values, no, based on the behavior, okay, based on the attitude to learn from those around them. Okay, so under this theory, the social process theory is the social learning theory, okay, which in turn, it has three sub-theories. So, una na yan yung differential association theory. Okay? At saka meron pa reinforcement theory, meron ding neutralization theory. In fact, kasali pa nga dito yung imitation theory. Okay? So let's proceed to the differential association theory. Okay. Anyway, since na-tackle natin yung social learning na pag-usapan natin or nasabi natin ang yung social learning theory. Ano ba yung social learning theory? Okay. So, sa Bisaya pa, daklitan lang nato, no? Okay. According to this theory, criminal behavior is learned through social interaction. Okay. Observation and reinforcement from others. Kagaya na lang ng family, mga peers, o kaya media, no? Okay, so let's start with the differential association theory. Okay, ano ba itong theory na to? Okay, so differential association theory, okay, criminal behavior daw is, okay, according to the differential association theory, yung criminal behavior daw is na-learn. Na-learn saan? Through interaction. Okay, hindi pala yung parents hindi pala natin na-learn sa parents natin o sa guardian natin, but through interaction with other people, not within our family, no? In a process of communication, okay? By way of communicating, no? Okay, so this is si Edwin Sutherland naman, no? Yung sa differential association theory. Okay, again, sabi niya, yung crime daw is learned through interaction with others, no? People become criminal not because pinanganak silang kriminal. No, yun yung concept ng differential association theory. Hindi sa pinanganak silang kriminal, but because they learn values. They learn values. They learn behaviors, no, that supports crime, no, from those around them. O kagaya na lang halimbawa, if ever ikaw lumaki ka sa mga relatives mo, na normalize yung thievery, yung pagnanakaw, aba, ikaw posible din na maano ka, what's this? Magaya mo yun or yun yung gagawin mo. Or let's say for example, yung mga kaibigan mo, yun yung ka-interact mo. Oh, aba, meron kang mga grupo ng mga kaibigan na ano, kaya anong klaseng grupong kaibigan na meron ka? Kunyari, nagiinom, nagsusugal, or mga gang members, or kahit ano-ano ba yung mga antisocials na mga acts, no? Or, say for example, yung mga mahihilig talagang lumabag, no? Okay, kunyari, yun yung grupo mo. O, meron nga tayong kasabihan, tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. Okay, posible na maiimpluwensyahan ka din do'n 'no, maka-learn ka din ng mga negative behavior or mga criminal behavior by interacting with those kind of people, okay? That is why you choose your friend wisely, okay? Kasi nagpauna na talaga si Edwin Sutherland na criminal behavior can be learned through interaction with other people. Okay, mas maganda na meron tayong ma-learn sa other people, hindi criminal behavior. Okay, alright? Okay, again, the differential association theory, crime is taught, no? Taught by way of interaction with different people. It is not inherited. Okay, take note of that, huh? Okay, next. Okay, so we have the differential reinforcement theory. Okay, ano naman tong differential reinforcement theory by Ronald Akers, no? Okay, sabi is, okay, an individual conduct is determined by how others react to his behavior. Okay, a person's behavior, no, is shaped by how others respond to it, no. So the differential reinforcement theory, this is part of the social learning theory, no, na somehow, according to this theory, no, by Ronald Akers, it explains that people learn criminal behavior through rewards, no? O iba naman, yung tatandaan nyo dito is, okay, rewards and punishment. Parang pangit ng red na lang. Okay, reward and punishment. Okay, so again, ang nag-create nito si Ronald Akers, no? It is based on the idea that behavior continues. No? The behavior continues when it is rewarded. No, and it stops when it punished, no? It's punished. Kaya ba if it is being punished, so syempre magsa-stop talaga 'yan. Okay? So it continues if it is being rewarded. No, it depends upon the reinforcement. Okay? So this theory it includes 4 types of reinforcement and punishment. Merong positive reinforcement. Pag sinabing positive reinforcement, so getting a reward increases behavior. O, katulad ng money, no, or approval. Negative reinforcement, to avoiding something bad, no, it increases behavior. Okay, like arrest. Okay, it increases behavior, ayaw mong ma-arrest, no? Okay, positive punishment, number 3, okay, getting a negative result, no, it decreases behavior. Okay, like, say for example, jail, no, or injury. And then another is negative punishment, or losing something good, or it decreases behavior, like mga privileges. Okay? So, differential reinforcement theory. So, to sum it all up, everyone, no, people are more likely to commit crimes if they expect more rewards, no, than the punishment. No? And they are less likely if the rest are higher. Okay? So, to sum it all up, differential reinforcement, this is a theory that, ano bang sabi ni Ronald Akers, no, people learn behavior through rewards and punishment. Okay, so pag yung behavior na yun is being rewarded, eh ba, lalaki ulo no, no? It is more likely to be repeated. Okay, so when it is ignored or when it is punished, no, it is likely to, okay, happen again. Okay, so this is the concept of the differential reinforcement theory. So the person's behavior is shaped by how others respond into it. Okay? So next, okay, neutralization theory. Ano yung neutralization theory? Okay, so this theory by David Matza and okay, Grisham, okay, Sykes. Okay, what is this theory all about? People, okay, people are aware when they are doing something wrong. O alam nila. Alam nila na gumagawa sila ng mali. But, ano ginagawa nila? They rationalize, they justify their actions. Okay? So, it explains that people na gumawa ng mga krimen, they justify their action para maibsan yung kanilang guilt, para maibsan yung kanilang responsibility. Okay? So it says offenders drift between obeying and breaking the law by using mga excuses, no? Itinatawag nilang neutralization techniques. Haba, merong mga neutralization techniques. Ano ba to? Denial of responsibility, okay? Denial of injury, denial of the victim, condemnation of the condemners, and appeal to the higher authorities. Okay, again, before we're going to one by one this techniques neutralization. So the neutralization theory, again, it explains how people who commit crimes justify their action para i-avoid yung kanilang guilt, i-avoid yung kanilang responsibility. Okay, so they use 5 ways, no, or 5 main ways to do this. Okay, number 1 is denial of responsibility. So yung offender, they claim that their action were caused by forces. Forces na ano, beyond their control. O, hindi na namin control, hindi namin kontrolado o, yung ginawa namin, no? Something like that, no? Like bad circumstances or pressure. So, they aren't to blame. Para hindi sila i-blame. Ayan, denial of responsibility, no? The criminal, no? The criminal or the offender, they claim that they were forced by circumstances. Kaya ko lang nagawa yan kasi, o ganyan, no? To commit the crime, no? For that reason, the criminal does not feel personally responsible. Sa tingin niya, I am not responsible, no? For the crime or for the effects of my crime. Okay? So, kunyari, i-claim ng criminal or ng offender na I am being coerced, no? By other people. I am being coerced by other people just to perform those unacceptable action, even hindi naman talaga totoo. Iba yung case ng ano yung uncontrollable fear or irresistible impulse, iba 'yon. Okay? Dito is that hindi naman talaga totoo, no? That's denial of responsibility. Okay? Another, denial of injury. Okay? They argue that no real harm was done. Okay? Okay na. It goes like, okay, nagawa ko yan. Pero wala namang harm. Okay? Wala namang harm na nangyari eh. Okay? They suggest that their crime didn't actually hurt or didn't actually cause damage to anyone. Wala namang nasaktan. Okay? So, the denial of injury, it occurs pag yung offender, no? Pag yung offender, they argues that their action did not cause harm, no? So, they should not be seen as truly wrong. No? This often happens when the victim or the damage hindi naman ganun ka-obvious, no? For example, someone nag-download ng movies, nag-download ng mga music illegally, at tingin nila it hurts no one. So others might excuse harmful pranks or mga offensive joke. Prank lang naman yun eh. Prank lang, what if na heart attack yun, namatay, no? Okay, by claiming that they were only meant for fun. Even if they cause real harm. No? That's denial of injury. That's being immature, no? Okay, next is denial of the victim. Okay, so yung offender or yung criminal, they say that the victim, okay, deserve what happened. Okay, deserve niya yun. Okay, yun yung reason nila, just to, ano nga yung concept ng neutralization? Just to lessen their guilt, just to lessen their responsibility. Ito lang yung mga excuse nila. No, alibi. Alibi is the weakest defense. Ha, tandaan niyo yan. Okay, denial of the victim, no? Okay, again, the offender, offender will say that, ay, deserve niya yun. Or, hindi naman talaga siya victim eh. So, merong shifting blame na nangyayari. No? Shifting blame or blame unto them. Okay, yan yung nangyayari. Okay, next. Condemnation of the condemners. Okay, ano ba ito? The offenders or the criminals, no, they deflect criticism by accusing those who judge them of being corrupt, for those people who judge them of being unfair, or for those people who judge them for being hypocritical. No, the condemnation of the condemners happen when the offenders, no, they shift attention away from their own wrongdoing by attacking those who criticize them. Eh, merong nag-criticize sa kanila, merong nag-punish sa kanila, they attack that, no? They attack them. They claim that, ano na yung reason na naman, they claim that others are unfair, you are biased, you are hypocritical. Okay? So say for example, yung offender, let's say for example, a young offender, might argue that an older authority figure has no right to judge them, no? Because that person likely made similar mistakes in the past. Say for example, yan, wala kang karapatang i-judge ako kasi ikaw, nung kabataan ka din, yung kasing edad mo lang din ako, meron ka naman ding nagawa sigurong ganito. Yun yung excuse niya. Condemnation, no? Yung condemners, kinondem mo, no? Parang ganun, no? Huwag mo sabihin hindi mo nagawa to, no? Parang ano baga yung teachers to student, no? Baga yung estudyante mo, say for example, pag nahuli mo na nag-cheat sa exam, nag-cheat sa quiz, o sasabihin mo na, syempre, pag nahuli mo, ano gagawin mo? Syempre, ano mo yun? What's this? Sasawayin mo yun. Sagutin ka baga ng, ma'am, wag kang ganyan, ma'am. Ginawa mo rin naman to noon eh. That's condemnation of the condemners. Excuse ba yun? It is not an excuse. Okay? So next, an appeal and ito na yung last. Appeal to higher loyalties. Okay, ano naman to? So they claim their illegal actions were done to protect or to support a more important value or a more important group or a cause. Okay? Where an offender, justify nila yung kanilang illegal or yung kanilang harmful na mga actions by claiming that ginawa namin yun for noble or for important reasons. Okay? So, ano ba yung noble na, noble? Okay, that's noble. Okay? Hindi Nobel. Okay? Noble. Okay? Na ano yung dila ko. Okay? Ano ba yun? Ginawa ko yan, ma'am. Ginawa ko yan, sir. Kasi, okay, for noble reason. Yan yung excuse. Okay? So, for instance, nagnakaw ka. Nang-rob ka ng bangko. Bakit mo ginawa yun? Kasi gusto mong pakainin yung pamilya mo. Okay? Nag-steal ka ng pera. Nagnakaw ka ng pera doon sa grocery store. Okay? Gasolinahan. Kasi merong yung mama mo, kailangan ng i-hospital, kailangan dalhin sa ospital, wala kang pambayad. Parang ganon. Okay, I did it for some important reason. Okay? Yan yung important reason mo. Is that is that justifiable? No, of course not. Okay? Believing that yung ginawa mo is, excuse lang yun eh. Believing that yung wrongdoing mo is meron naman siyang good purpose. Okay lang ba yun? Of course not, no? So, another. Okay? What else? Okay, another thing is that these techniques, no, it helps the offenders or the criminal to feel less guilty. Okay, it helps the offenders to justify their behavior mentally. Okay, that's neutralization. Okay, neutralization means mentally and emotionally making wrongful actions that seems less wrong or less harmful according to social rules and laws. Okay, while most people learn a clear sense of right and wrong, the offenders, they create ways. Ano ba yung meron silang mga ways, no, to see their bad actions as harmless or to see their bad actions as even good. Okay, when people adapt and share these justifications, no, it weakens society's moral limits, no, and can lead to more crime and stronger criminal attitudes. Oh, parang ganyan, no? Nakita niyo sa picture, no? Me trying to prove my case. Okay? Meron akong mga sariling dahilan, no? Ginagawa ko lang yan kasi ganito ganyan, no? They they rationalize, they justify their actions, their wrong actions. Okay, so that is the concept of neutralization theory. Okay, next theory is, okay, dito na tayo sa social reaction theory. Okay, the social reaction theory, it is also known as labeling theory. Oh, kita niyo yan, si Smigol, ano ba yan, si Gollum. Okay, so by Edwin Lemert. Okay, ano ba sinasabi sa social reaction theory or the labeling theory? Okay, people become criminals, okay, when major members of society name them as such. Okay, and then they adopt such label as their personal identity. Tayo naman pala yung may kasalanan eh. Kasi mahilig tayong mambuli. Mahilig tayo kung ano-ano itatawag natin with the specific person. Hindi natin alam. Meron na palang epekto yun sa kanyang personal identity, sa kanyang sarili. No, it explains the social reaction theory. It explains that an act becomes deviant or becomes, again, pag sinasabi natin deviant, unacceptable values, no? Or abnormal, no? Okay, it becomes deviant not because of what it is, no? But because tayo naman talaga yung may kasalanan. But because the society labels it that way. Okay, so pag yung person na yun, inililabel natin as deviant, ano ba yung mga deviant na mga action? Magnanakaw ka, okay? Mamamatay tao ka, something like that. No? You're a murderer. Murderer pala ha. Parang laging tinatawag sa iyo na parang you accept those identity, no? Para bagang gano'n, no? Okay? So, by other people or by authorities, okay? So they may start to see themselves na that way and then they behave accordingly. Para bagang self-fulfilling prophecy yung nangyayari, no? So this labeling can lead to stigma na, it can lead to stigma na. Ano ba yung stigma? It can lead to negative self-image na upon yourself, okay? Okay? Social rejection, it can lead to that, no? And in some cases, even more deviant behavior. Para bagang pangangatawanan mo na lang din, no? Ay, kagaya niya, no? Magnanakaw, you're a thief. Kahit hindi ka naman talaga magnanakaw, magnanakaw pala ha. Para bagang pinangatawanan mo na lang din, no? Okay, so when society labels, no, an act or person as deviant, no, it can trigger, no, or it can trigger, no, okay, a cycle that pushes those individual toward even more deviant behavior, no? Kunyari, itinatawag mo yung estudyante mo na, oh, you are a bad kid in this room, no? You're the most bad kid in this room or the most bad student in this room, no? They may begin to believe, no? They may begin to accept that label or buguon kaayo ka nga pagka-estudyante, ha? Okay, that is why it leads them to misbehave even more. Hindi na magsiseryoso yun. Kaya iwasan talaga natin na tawagin natin bobo yung mga estudyante natin, ha? Bobo pala, ha? Parang, ano na, may effect sa kanila yun, no? This shows how the labeling can influence behavior and reinforce the very traits that society condemns, no? Okay, so again, this labeling theory that is being developed by Edwin Lemert explains how the society's reaction to deviant behavior can shape a person's identity and lead to more deviance. Okay, so again, this theory shows that the social reactions, okay, can intentionally push people further, no? It can push further those people into deviant behavior instead na makakatulong tayo, instead na it can stop, but it does not, no? So this person Edwin Lemert and yung mga earlier thinkers pa kasi katulad ni Frank Tannenbaum, no? They emphasize that being labeled or stigmatized by society can be as harmful. Oh, it can be again, it can be as harmful as the deviant act itself. Okay, so again, to sum it all up, this labeling theory or this social reaction theory, it focuses on how society's labels can turn small acts of deviance into lasting criminal identities. No, it highlights the powerful influence of social reactions on behavior. O, tandaan niyo yan. Okay, so let's proceed to the social control theories. Okay, social control theories. Okay, ano ba tong social control theories? Okay, so yung sub-theory nito is yung containment theory at saka yung social ban theory. Okay, it states that everyone has the potential to commit crime. Okay, yun yung concept ng social control theories, no? Everyone has the potential to commit crime, but most people are prevented from doing such, no? By their strong connection to society. Okay? So, social control comes from institutions. Ano ba yung mga institutions ng community? Family, yung eskwelahan, yung gobyerno, may batas pa tayo. No? It guides behavior. It encourages people to follow social rules. Yung mga institusyon na yon sa community, pwede palang makakatulong yun to control criminal behavior. Okay, to control such person from committing such crime. Okay, kagaya na lang halimbawa ng isa sa mga sub-theories ng social theory, which is the containment theory. Okay? Okay, the containment theory. Okay, so sino bang nag-develop ng containment theory? Sino ba yan? Hulaan nyo? Okay, this is si Walter Reckless. Okay, so containment theory, the influences. Okay, the influences both within. Okay, yung tandaan nyo, within, tapos meron pang outside. Okay, the influences both within and outside of a man that have the ability to influence his conduct. Okay, so the containment theory, from the word containment, no? From the word containment, okay, meaning merong control. Oh, okay, it comes from the root word contain, so control, no? Okay, it explained that people avoid delinquency. Kaya naman palang i-avoid yung delinquency, no? Through within or through inner and outer containment. O, merong inner containment, merong outer containment. Pag sinabi nating inner containment, ito yung mga personal qualities natin. Okay? Personal qualities ng person. Ano ba yung personal qualities? Self-control. O meron tayong self-control, kaya tayo hindi nakakagawa ng krimen, kaya tayo naiwas doon sa mga krimen kasi meron tayong self-control. That's inner containment. Meron tayong strong conscience. Kagaya nung mga anti-social person, walang konsensya yun. Okay? Those are people who violates the law intentionally. Okay? And clear sense of right and wrong. Okay? So, for example, uh, yung mga kabataan, merong mga good self-discipline. Okay? Merong moral values. So, there's a possibility that they may resist. No? Pwede nilang i-resist yung mga temptation. They cannot be easily tempted by anything like, say for example, intend to steal. Okay? They cannot be tempted by any kind of deviant or abnormal behavior. Okay? So those are inner containment. So again, yung containment theory is influences both within and outside. O ano naman yung outside containment or outside control? or outer containment. Ito naman yung mga external supports. So aside na meron tayong self-control, mga ganon, mga inner containment. So merong external support. Oh. Like for example, family guidance. Ikaw ba naman what's this? Tamang-tama yung pagpapalaki sa'yo. Lagi kang ginaguide ng parents mo. Okay, pinagsasabihan na kung ano-ano yung mga bagay-bagay na hindi dapat gawin, mga ganon. Okay, and positive school environments. Okay, lagi kang pumapasok sa eskwela, nakikinig ka sa teacher, somehow, meron, it can be a factor na pwedeng yung bata o yung estudyante o yung mga kabataan is ma-remind sila, no? Ma-remind sila kung ano yung mga hindi dapat gawin, no? Okay, and community rules. Yun yung mga outer containment, isa sa mga outer containment. No? For instance, napaka-supported ng family mo, okay? And grabe yung involvement mo sa school activities, hindi kayong pabayang estudyante, yung mga ganon. It can help, no? It can help keep a person from giving in to peer pressure, okay? From giving in to criminal influences. Aside from that, church. Lagi nagsisimba. Okay? You are devoted. Not just devoted, you are faithful. Not just faithful, sumusunod ka talaga. Masunurin. Iba yung sumusunod kaysa masunurin. Pag sinabing masunurin sa ayaw at sa gusto, susundin mo talaga. Okay? Okay, kano yung pinagbabawal. Okay? So yun, it can help you na maiwas ka talaga sa mga krimen or sa mga abnormal behavior. Okay? Or sa whatever temptation na pwedeng magdala sa'yo sa kapahamakan. No? Okay, so together, yung inner tsaka yung outer control, it protects individual from the negative, meron kasing push factors and pull factors. No, pag sinabing push factors, yun yung mga poverty, yung mga frustration. Okay? Wala ka ng, let's say for example, frustration. Hindi ka na mapoprostrate kasi nandyan yung family mo, very supportive. And then, lagi ka nagsisimba, pinapasa Diyos mo ng lahat. Parang gano'n, no? Okay, and pull factors, no, like peer pressure or the desire for social approval. Okay, so wala kang ganon. Okay, because somehow these two containment is protecting you from those ano ba yun, mga kapahamakan, no? Okay, so that is the concept of the containment theory. Okay, the people avoid delinquency. Paano? Paano naiiwasan yung delinquency or delinquent acts or mga abnormal behaviors? Okay, through inner and outer containment. Merong control. Okay, which is, it is really true. No, it is really true. Okay, so next. Parang gano'n, no? Somebody stop me. Okay, somebody stop me from doing something bad. Okay? Okay, next. Okay, next we have the social bond theory. Okay, ano naman tong social bond theory, no, by Travis Hershey. Yung crime daw, yung krimen daw is the product of individuals, no, with frayed ties to social structures. Ibig sabihin yan, it explains that people, they follow the rules not because they lack the desire to break them, but because they have strong social bonds that keeps them from doing so. So, yung merong mga elements, no? There are 4 elements of social bonds. Ano ba itong mga social bonds? Okay, attachment, commitment, involvement, belief. Okay? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng attachment? That is your emotional connections to family, no? To your friends, okay? To your teachers. No? It encourages people to care about others' opinions. Okay, so itong mga bonds na ito, these bonds, itong 4 elements of social bonds, pupwede na it can help to prevent crime. Kasi if these bonds are being weakened, o ang sabi ng social bond theory, yung crime daw is the the product of individuals with frayed ties to social structure. No, crime happens kasi nga it is when people feel disconnected from society and its roles. O, pag na-disconnect ka na sa society, pag na-disconnect ka na with its rules, so if so happens, okay, the result is there is crime. Okay? So tatalakayin natin itong mga bonds na ito. Okay, na kung if ever nga these bonds are strong within you, then it is improbable for you to commit a crime or the existence of a crime. Okay? Where, segue, as long as humanity exists in this world, okay, crime is continued to exist as well. Okay? So, anyway, let's forget that. Let's continue this theory. Okay, let's start with the attachment. So, sabi ko kanina, emotional, ano ba sabi attachment? Okay, what does it mean? Emotional connections to family. Meron kang emotional connections sa iyong family, sa iyong friends, in your teachers. Kumbaga, pinapahalagahan mo yung opinion ng pamilya mo. Pinapahalagahan mo yung opinion ng parents mo, ng teachers mo, the people around you. Okay, kaya ayaw mong i-break yung mga rules because you have an attachment to them. You do not want to disappoint them. You do not want to disappoint your parents. Ayaw mong mawala yung trust ng mga friends mo or your closest friend. That attachment, isa yan. Isa yan sa social bond. Isa yan, yung bond na yan, kasi takot kang kung anong maging impression nila sa'yo, ayaw mo silang i-disappoint, kaya hindi ka gagawa ng krimen. Hindi ka gagawa ng ikakasira mo. Hindi ka gagawa ng ikasisira ng impression nila sa'yo. Okay? Isa yan sa mga bond na dapat hindi pwedeng i-break. Okay? Kasi pag meron kang attachment, okay, it is improbable for you to commit crime or to make crime happens. Okay, another, okay, commitment. Okay, this one, commitment. Okay, so investment, individual investment, investment in goals and achievements. So, kagaya ng mga education, your career, no, makes people less likely to risk their future or to risk your future. Okay? Kung ikaw ba naman what's this? Pinag-iipunan mo yung pang-college mo. Pinag-iipunan mo yung college mo bago ka nagtrabaho ka muna, nag-ipon ka muna para lang makapasok sa eskwela na yan or para lang what's this? Para lang maka-enroll, no? Okay, para ma-pursue mo yung dream mo. Okay, para gusto mong meron kang gustong i-pursue. Okay? Gusto mong maging police, okay? Gusto mong maging anything, no? Kung anong gusto mo. Okay? And then, syempre, pinaghirapan mo yan, no? So, iiwas ka talaga. You avoid delinquency just to protect your chances of success because you do not want to risk your future. Isa yan sa rason. Kaya ayaw mong gumawa ng mga ng krimen or ng ikasisira mo or mga antisocial acts kasi kaya ayaw mong masira yung future mo. Ayaw mong masira yung career mo or if ever we're talking about career, no? Kaya mong maudlot yung pag-aaral mo, gusto mong tapusin. Kaya lahat ng posibleng maging balakid sa'yo tungo sa success mo is iiwasan mo. That's commitment. Dapat meron ka yan. Okay? Isa yan sa bond. Isa din yan, no? Okay, another is involvement. No? Again, commitment, individual investment. Investment mo sa sarili mo, no? Okay? Attachment is, meron kang pakialam sa opinion, sa sasabihin ng ibang tao tungkol sa iyo. Okay? Involvement, okay, amount of time. Okay? What is this? Participation in positive activities that keeps people too busy for deviance. O busy ka na participate sa mga iba't ibang klaseng aktibidades, wala ka ng panahon para gumawa pa ng mga abnormal behavior or para gumawa ng mga delinquent acts, no? Okay, kunyari, if you're young person, okay, meron kang mga mini-maintain or meron kang mga sports na sinasalihan, mga clubs, or it could be meron kang mga part-time work, okay? It has less time and opportunity for you to get in trouble because meron kang kinakabisihan, no? That's involvement. Okay, you make use of your time. O syempre, pag sobrang busy natin sa mga bagay-bagay na makakatulong naman to uplift ourselves, okay, wala ka ng panahon pa para gumawa ng krimen. Okay? Another is belief. Wala naman ding too good to be true, no? Okay? So, anyway, these are the social bans, no? Na pwedeng makatulong, no? To prevent crime. Okay? From happening. Next is belief. Okay? Belief, acceptance of the norm. So, acceptance of the moral values and respect for laws. It discourage deviance acts. So, ikaw is naniniwala ka talaga, you are, masunuring ka talaga kung ano yung mali, kung ano yung batas, okay, then it is the law and you need to follow that one. Okay, if you believe that doing like this, doing something like this is not good for you, okay, or the outcome of this will not bring goods in you, okay, then if you believe in that, so you will resist temptation. Kahit na no one is watching you. Okay? Hindi naman 24/7 lagi nakasunod yung mga pulis, no? Sa dami-dami ng mga tao, ilan lang yun. Okay? So, kahit na walang nakatingin, okay, alam mo sa sarili mo that doing that one is wrong, no? So, you resist that temptation because you believe, no? Acceptance of the norms. Okay? So, these 4 bands, itong attachment, okay, this attachment, this commitment, okay, this involvement, itong belief, no? Ito sila is it help maintain conformity, no? And reduce the likelihood of criminal behavior. Okay? Again, wag niyong kalimutan ang sabi sa social band theory, crime is the product of individual with frayed ties to social structure. Again, yung krimen daw, it happens when people feel disconnected from society and its rules. Walang ganitong band, no? So, when itong mga social bonds na ito, okay, are strong, so the individuals are less likely to commit crimes. Pag naman, these bonds are being weakened, what will happen? Weakening of any of these bonds can increase, no, the susceptibility to deviance or mga ano nga ulit yung deviance, mga unacceptable values, unacceptable norms or standards in the society, especially if the others are also weak. Okay? So, that is the concept of the social band theory. Okay, so I hope you learned something in this humble sharing of knowledge, no, of mine. Okay, thank you so much for listening, everyone. Okay, so until the next discussion.